Oh, I didn't realize it was live. You guys saw nothing. You saw nothing. I was like, wait a minute. Why is that ticking? Oh, right, okay. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to End All Wars. So this is a game I've not played for quite a few years, as my good friend CJ says there. I've been waiting for more of this since you promised a multiplayer series in 2015. How many years has it been? How many years? We're going to go ahead and play a little bit of the Axis. The Central Powers. The reason being, at least the onus is on us. This is a game that would be genuinely better with like a human opponent, and maybe I will do that. There you go, CJ, alluding to that. Ooh. How are we all doing there? Hello there, Justin. Hello there, Richard. Hello, Edmund, Parmentier, and Bering. Good to have you guys. Yeah, I just thought we'd do a little bit of this game. I would play the actual music here, but the only issue is it's very, very copyrighted. I still get emails talking about how this company has copyrighted this video, and it's like, okay, good luck, but then you've got to compete with the other 20 odd companies that have also copyrighted it, so good luck. So here we are. This is To End All Wars, a game most definitely set in the First World War. So we do have a number of scenarios, but in all fairness, I've always played the Grand Campaign. I play some of these ones. These ones are fun. Not played them for a few years, however. The Great War Full Campaign. We have the Historical Campaign over here. Complexity 5 out of 5 out of 5. How you doing, Alexander? Ah, yes. I pressed the random shit as Russia and somehow won. That sounds about right. Well, that is a good plan there. That's a good, that's a good thing to say there, Parmentier. What we're going to do is we're going to go for the full campaign. We do have a few options here. We could go for the historical campaign or the full campaign. This one, the battle plans are already decided upon. This one, we can choose our battle plan, and the Entente can choose their own battle plan as well. So we do have Essential Powers over here, we do have the Western Entente, and we have the Eastern Entente over here. So you can see, the Central Powers win this scenario by accumulating more victory points than the combined Entente allies. This can be done by taking objectives and inflicting staggering losses to the enemy. How you doing there, Alexander and Norbert? Good to have you guys. And we have the Western Entente. The Entente win this scenario by accumulating more victory power than the victory points than the Central Powers. Ending VP for the rations of French players are combined for the final Entente score. This can be done by taking objectives and inflicting staggering losses to the enemy. Yeah, like the... oh god. I remember doing the Switzerland plan. Yeah, that one didn't go tremendously well. That did not go tremendously well. And so, of course, this is an idiot game, so it is subject to sort of weird things. Yeah, both of Russia indeed. Ideally, it will be stable, but that's just something to bear in mind. We are going to have to save this pretty often. There are some mods out there. I did have one downloaded a while ago. And by a while ago, I mean probably a few years ago at this point. That makes me feel old. I just love how they changed this. I remember before this was like this. How you doing there, Ton? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, what a game. You know, it's quite funny, actually. Like, this was probably the reason why I started playing, like, sort of like grand strategy games, quote-unquote grand strategy games. I remember watching a video from, I think his channel name was, like, Pew Pew Per Chew. I think it was something like that. Pew Pew Chew Chew. Something like that. I think the guy's not been around for a few years, but I remember watching him play To End All Wars and thinking, oh my god, that looks so cool. I really want to play that. So then I did, and then I decided to actually think, okay, well, maybe we'll record it as well. And that's kind of how I segued into doing this sort of stuff here. Hey, didn't that Ron? Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, the Zeppelins. Ah, I guess I remember the Zeppelins. Okay. So the Central Powers accepted Germany into its alliance. The Central Powers accepted Austria. We have, of course, France and the Western Entente. We have Russia and the Eastern Entente. Yeah, this was my gateway drug, yeah. Exceptionally, yes. It was an exceptional one. So the Archduke Franz Ferdinand has been assassinated. So if I go here, do I click these to click on it? There we go, okay. On 28th of June 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, and his wife Sophie, Duchess of Hohenberg, were shot dead in Sarajevo by Gavrilo Blinson, one of a group of 6 Bosnian Serb assassins coordinated by a paramilitary group, the Black Hand. The political objective of the assassination was to break off Austria-Hungary's South Slav provinces so they could be combined into the Greater Serbia. Though the liberal-minded Franz Ferdinand was not overly mourned by the ultra-conservative Austrian government, Emperor Franz Joseph and the Austrian military leaders used his death as a convenient excuse to press a war with Serbia, which would ultimately lead to the great catastrophe of the Great War. I used to play a board game called Guns of August. I've heard about that one, actually. Yeah, I've heard about that one. I've not checked it out, but I've heard about it. When do you think your next one in the Pacific will be? I sent off the Admiral Dadman turn tonight, so probably get that back either tomorrow or a little bit later, man. Usually he comes back pretty quick. I will be doing more of a THG game. Need to finish that turn tomorrow. Okay. I play in a club that I admin where we have a great to end all wars player base. I always play as a CP. Oh, that's really intriguing. Skillful use of the German high seas fleet can grab you a ton of national morale against a weaker Western Entente player. Well, that's it really, isn't it? The interesting thing is, the German fleet is smaller than the ground fleet, but you've got to be careful. You still got to be careful. Anyhow. So neutral sentiment has moved the United States 1% towards neutrality here. Ottoman Empire towards the Entente, towards the Central Powers. The Ottoman Empire is providing you with diplomatic aid. Okay, that's nice. Engagement points are always nice. I don't say that enough anymore, engagement points. That's a very idiot thing there. Hey, Dingobat4 Deepicduck, good to have you, my friend. And this is to end all wars. Any more streams of that South American game coming up? Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm going to do some more of those, actually. It's quite a fun game. I'm going to be checking out more of the actual series there. Yeah. Oh, Ron. Oh, Ron. Dadman's really been an arse. And it gets worse as well. It gets significantly worse. But he's a fantastic player. And this is it. You don't learn by playing against terrible players. You learn by playing against people who are better than you. Okay, so we have our preparations for war here. It's time to prepare for war. Each of the great powers planned extensively for the deployment of their massive armies. You can choose a war plan from their military. From the military F3 screen on the first turn, each plan has its own costs and effects, so choose wisely. Okay, the Guns of August. This scenario covers the whole war after the initial attacks in 1914, August until 1919. You pick your spots by luring them out and engaging. Yeah, well that's it exactly. You do get access to the Zeppelins as well, which I think they give you high reconnaissance. I'm trying to remember the actual terminology for the Geod games. I think it is reconnaissance. Is it reconnaissance? But I believe it does help to have reconnaissance. I do think that the best Geod game is by far Civil War 2. This one's really good. The reason why I wouldn't rate this one as the top one is because it's not super stable. While as like Civil War 2, I've had it run like butter every single time, and it's always fun. How does it do things differently? I think it retains the feeling of a board game, but it actually gives you the scale that a board game would struggle to sort of convey really while retaining playability, I suppose you could say. Yeah, geostable. This is made by John, indeed. Okay, let's go ahead here. I do like it without the map modes, in fairness. We'll see. Okay, so we're going to go to the F3 screen, which is the military screen, which is over here. So we do have a few war plans over here. So we get to choose the war plan for the German Empire and for the Austrian Empire. It's still a little buggy, yes, but yes, definitely, no, you are right there, Edmund. I'm being a little bit harsh, aren't I? Hey, did that LCB? Hello there, Gary. I almost said Grievous then. So here we go. I'm going to read out the plans and you guys can choose. Besides the, is it the refresh plan? Which is the, is it the, yeah. See, the thing about this one is it's just, no. I tried it once. It's not easy. The terrain is, shockingly, Switzerland is fairly mountainous in parts. Hey, Dingobat Joe, good to have you, my friend. Yeah, I played this game a few years ago. It has been too long, really, hasn't it? So I'm going to read out these plans. So we have currently here the historical option, which is the Schlieffen Plan. Indeed. Germany has 7 armies on the west, the 1st to the 7th. Germany automatically declares war against Belgium and occupies Luxembourg. There's no peninsulas here. Objectives during the turns of August 1914. Germany will gain objectives on Brussels, Lille, Amiens, Reims, and Saint-Quentin. my pronunciation has still not improved. So we do gain 12 engagement points. Rail capacity is minus 800 initially. It goes by 150 each turn in August and by 250 each turn in September. The effects of German General Headquarters will be established at Mainz under von Moltke. The 1st and the 5th armies will initially be attached to the General Headquarters, and General Headquarters will be fixed during August 1914 turns. During the turns of August 1914, any German leaders in Belgium or Germany will automatically be active, and German units in Belgium gain 30% cohesion at the end of each August 1914 turn. So Great Britain will shift randomly, but heavily in favour of the Entente. And don't forget to use the heavy Krupp guns to reduce these, yeah, oh god, yeah. As we have the Conference Plan. The plans to attack the west are abandoned. Belgium is not invaded, the Free Armies. So 3 armies are deployed in the east, and 5 in the west for a I can't speak, can I? For a balanced defense. So we do have some penalties here. So the Central Powers national morale does go down by 5. Our alignment here to the Central Powers in Germany decreases by 5%. Obviously, I suppose you could represent the fact as the nation is like a little bit disillusioned there. Our objectives during the turns of August 1914, Germany will gain objectives on Königsberg, Metz, Strasbourg, Posen, Breslau. Defensive objectives will lose national morale if these fall to the enemy. And that's really intriguing that you have national objectives on the on defensive ones. I mean, that's really intriguing. And easy to hold on to. The Russians aren't that difficult to deal with. We do get some nasty surprises, but they're not that bad. You can deal with them. So we do only gain 4 engagement points. Rail capacity is minus 500 initially, of course by 100 each turn in August and 115 each turn in September. The German General Headquarters will be established at Mainz under Kronprinz. 1st Army and the 4th to the 6th armies will be initially attached to the General Headquarters, and General Headquarters will not be fixed during the August 1914 turns. And during the turns of August 1914, any German leaders in Germany will automatically be active. Yeah, contain them in the meantime, indeed. So we have a Moltke Plan. Germany switches the brunt of its offensive forces to face Russia. Transferring the 1st, 2nd, 3rd armies to the east, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th armies are deployed in the west. Luxembourg is not occupied by the German armies, so we do have some penalties here. The Western Entente national morale increases by 10, Central Powers alignment in Germany minus 10%, Central Power alignment in Austria plus 10%, however, which is intriguing. Objectives during the turns of August. BLeAcHACiD. I can't pronounce that one. So only 2 engagement points. Rail capacity minus 800. Recovers by 150 each turn. 250 in September. The German General Headquarters will be established at Königsberg under von Moltke. The 1st to the 3rd armies and the 8th army will be initially attached to the General Headquarters, and General Headquarters will be fixed during the August 1914 turns. And to the turns of August 1914, any German leaders on the Russian Eastern Front will automatically be active, and German units in Lithuania, Podlasia, another one there. Or Poland will gain 30% cohesion at the end. Hey, do invest Snake? Yeah, this game's a few years old actually. It's Jod's to end all wars. There we go. So those are the German plans. I can read out the Swiss plan. It is pretty insane. It is pretty insane. I mean, it does make you. It makes you wonder though, like. So essentially, we'd have to try and conquer Switzerland. Mountain. Wooded hills, not so bad. What do we have here? Mountain, mountain, mountain. Alpine. Mountain. 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 I don't know who came up with the Swiss pan. I mean, okay, sure. I don't know what you actually really gain from it. I mean, this is it. I really just don't understand what we could gain from that, really. Like, we could potentially... let's say we invade Switzerland. I mean, it could be done. We could do it. It's just very hefty in terms of losses there. Moltke's the main plan. Yeah. And this is it. I mean, maybe you gain some G's. Well, that's it. I mean, we would have like a direct rail line to the Italians. That would be under German control. Yeah, you gain more attrition. Yeah, that's it. I still to this day cannot figure out really why you'd want to do this plan. Legion says, okay. Okay, where is the, I'm trying to remember the actual... No? Okay. There's one for supply, but I don't think I have access to it yet. Oh, no, I do. I just can't see it in Switzerland. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Okay. So, what we'll do then is we'll decide upon the German plan then to begin with. So, we'll go over here then. So, we're going to start this as a vote then. So, what I'm going to say then is type in chat, I don't know, 1 for the Schlieffen, 2 for the Kronprinz plan, and 3 for the Moltke plan. 4 if you wanna lose the war. Yet it just works. Oh yeah, it just, oh yeah, it absolutely works. It definitely works. It's good to lose the war. Okay, a few 3s. There's a 4. Thanks, Epic. Hey, didn't let us know, Fox. Oh, red. So this is how I get you lurkers to talk. Oh my god, it works. Okay, we've got quite a few 3s there. Cowards. 2 would be the Kronprinz, which is a balanced one. And it's interesting in the fact that, I'm mispronouncing that. Somebody German, correct me, please. What would you do if you had a free hand? 5, you coward. I mean, I've tried, I would like to try the Ruprecht plan, but it wouldn't be a game I'd show to people. It'd be one for my own personal curiosity. The Crown Prince plan, is that what it's meant to be? Obviously I can't speak German. I'm going to assume it's the Crown Prince plan. I'm going to call it the Crown Prince plan. I mean, it's intriguing the fact that Belgium is not invaded. I do not know how long they would actually remain outside of the Entente, if they would indeed ever join the side. But it's one of those of where it would turn the Western Front into a meat grinder, really. Crown Prince, yes! Which is intriguing. So it looks like 3 has won, which is going to be the Moltke plan. So we're transferring our offensive against the Russians here. Still better than Citadel. I like it. No, I still agree with the Schlieffen plan. Okay. So now we're going to spend about 10 minutes talking about the Austrian plan. Man, you know what? Back in the day, I remember like looking and actually working out how many men Austria had, and Germany had, and the Russians had, and the French had, and the British had. In the mod I was using, that was it. I think it was called To End All Wars Ultimate mod. I never really got a chance to play that. I would try to arrange like a play-by-mail game. One of my oldest fans, he'll know. Mr. Tom, he'll know. Like, we played a few turns ago. God, a few years ago. I think he'll be happy to see this. We might have to do some sort of play-by-mail. I suppose if you guys want to see something like that, comment on the video afterwards. Obviously when it is a video. Okay, anyhow. So we have the Conrad Plan, which is the one where it's, you just throw everything in the air and just kind of just hope for the best. So Austria faces Serbia while also engaging the Russians as a priority. So we have no historical penalties besides the fact that we go for the plan. That is a penalty in and of itself. So during the terms of August 1914, Austria will gain objectives on Lublin, Ivangorod, Koel, Dubno, Belgrade. So capacity, 8 engagement points is nice. Engagement points is going to be quite important there. We're going to have to use them all round. Yeah, I couldn't get it off the ground, unfortunately. Go Russia priority, Serbia is too hard. Yeah, Serbia is a tough son of a bitch. But you can kind of ignore Serbia. That's the good thing. Okay, so during the terms of August 1914, any Austrian leaders in Russian territory will be active, and any Austrian units in Russian territory will gain plus 30% cohesion at the end of 1914 terms in August. And the Second Army is in the process of transfer, appears in Budapest, and must be transferred to the front. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go historical, you can do that. The König plan. Okay. So, is König king? I can't recall, actually. I've got a book, actually, but I need to reread on this one. Of the First World War, that is. That was always a good book. That was one of my favourites. So, the König plan. Austria concentrates its offensives against Serbia, and remains on the defensive against Russia. The Central Powers national morale increases by 10. Eastern Entente national morale increases by +10. Oh, I'm on fire here today with the German. Yes, there we go. Central Powers alignment is -20% in Germany. Central Powers alignment in Austria is +10. As of the turns of August 1914, Austria will gain objectives on Belgrade. Can't say those ones. Rail capacity -600 +1 engagement point. The Austrian general headquarters will be established at Novi Sad under Conrad. 2nd Army and the 4th to the 6th Armies will initially be placed and attached to the general headquarters. Okay. Yeah. That one... yes. That's what I call you, Alex. My Kaiser. My captain, my captain. So we have the Kaiser plan. Austria attacks Russian force, often to deal with Serbia at a later date. Okay. So, the general headquarters established at Vienna. The 1st to the 5th armies will initially be attached to the general headquarters, and general headquarters will be fixed during August and September 1914 turns. And during the turns of August 1914, any Austrian leader in the Russian Eastern Front will automatically be active, and any Austrian units on the Russian Eastern Front will gain 30% cohesion at the end of the turn. Okay, so what would you guys like to vote for? So we do have a historical plan, which is throw everything into the air and allow things to just take the shape that they do. So essentially, engage Serbia while engaged in Russia, because that's superb. And then we have the Koenig plan, so the King plan, well, we go all out against Serbia, or we have the Emperor plan, well, we go all out against Russia. So once again, 1 for the Conrad plan, 2 for the King plan, and 3 for the Kaiser plan, the Prince plan. Yes, Austria holds its forces in reserves and bides its time, and before committing to a particular front. So essentially, the Austrian armies defend Austria. I suppose you can gather what I think about the Prince plan. Okay, so game Freeze. It looks like the Freeze have the day here so far. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Prince plan. It's kind of like, well, you're already at war. You might as well actually fight the war, trying to win. Okay, so we'll go with 3 then. There we go. And it will be interesting to see what the actual Entente picks. Right, I don't think I have any other options right now. Let me try and remember the actual shortcuts. Strategic Atlas. Okay, forces. Whoops. Yeah, but do not reinforce the east. Okay, so we do have these options over here. Research, maps, the objectives there. Okay. Yes, good idea there, Alex. We'll save here. There we go, that's been saved. Yeah, I said the Freeze have it. Let me double check that I chose the right plan now. Yeah, ignore that. Ignore that. It just doesn't update. Kaiser plan, there we go. So, we have the Monkey plan. And we have the Emperor plan. There we go. So, once again, quick save. We'll go forward then. See what the Entente does. And then the war will truly begin. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the Russians here. Indeed, God with us. Man, yeah. And there actually is a plan for the French to actually declare war upon Belgium, which is really intriguing. Was it Plan 17? I can't recall which one it is, or Plan 19. So let's see here. So we have the Kaiser's goal to Turkey, the government of Breslau. Okay, so we have the Tsar plan here. This is what the Russians have chosen here. Russia attacks Austria in full force, sending all 6 of its starting armies against Galicia. That's going to be intriguing then. We might be able to push on towards St. Petersburg. During the turns of August and September 1914, Russia will gain objectives on Lemberg, Przemysl, Krakow, Right. Engagement points 2, rail capacity minus 600. So the Russian general headquarters will be established at Brno under Grand Duke. Okay. That's going to be intriguing then. So we might have to use the actual Austrian armies to parry the Russian armies while using the German armies to actually push into Russia itself. We're obviously going to have to go for St. Petersburg as a priority if we can. Could try to encircle all the armies indeed. 3 German corps were uselessly sent east when they could have guarded the flank of the Marne. Interesting. Yeah, no, it's going to be really intriguing. I mean, that's the problem with the Russians, isn't it? Is that they're on their own. But then again, they are huge. So the French... Right, okay. This plan calls for an offensive against Germany. Plan 19, attempting to flank any German attempt to invade Belgium by sending 3 armies through Luxembourg and the Ardennes. That one's going to be a little bit tough there. Yeah, France declares war on Luxembourg, which likely halves relations with Great Britain and the United States. No, this one's different. This one is not the historical plan, which is intriguing. So that's going to be intriguing. Right, so they're actually at war with Luxembourg. Though we do see a very large French force over here then. So if I go way over here, let's see. Great Britain. Huh. Well, that's actually really intriguing then. Now, the British do tend to come in pretty much no matter what on the Entente side. But this may delay it. That's going to be intriguing then. 76%. They're also going to be, like, swayed towards the Entente there. The Austro-Hungarian forces should be used in Galicia instead of Serbia. Yep, they are going to be. Could send one big diplomat to the US and keep them out of war. Yeah. Yeah, the British will come only into the war at the end of October. Potentially so. We might send a diplomat out there to the Brits, try and keep them out as long as possible. That's really intriguing though. That is really intriguing. And where does the USA stand? Oh wow, okay. So 87% towards the Central Powers here. I don't think you can get the Americans to join. I don't think it's possible to get them to join the Central Powers. Yeah, Pro-Entente. Pro-Entente. I don't think it is possible. But that's helped us out though. That's going to be intriguing. Yeah, that's true. And would you recommend the Guns of August? You know, you're making me really fancy a game like a World War I board game now. I'd love to play board games, like actual proper board games. So we do have our diplomats over here then. And now that costs us 200 state fronts and 3 engagement points. So engagement points we have 18, we have funds, 1,428. These guys are at 50 and 2, still not super cheap. Free. Okay. Do have a few options over here. We could try to raise new generals. Grant concessions, change the government there, print state funds. Not particularly great, increases inflation. Got to try and avoid that really if we can. Okay. Yeah. It'd be intriguing to actually have access to the Americans as the Central Powers. So what I'm going to do here is save it, because it has a nasty tendency. Okay. So let's take a look at where the armies are deployed then. Oh, I see. So we do have a Russian army over here. One here as well. But we do have our own German armies over here. I mean, that's pretty dangerous for the Russians. They aren't... I mean, this is it. They're probably not going to allow us to... it looks like Brusilov. I'm pretty sure that is Brusilov. If you'd not like to work on the US, you can bring the Italians on your side. Only be sure to detach all of the heavier Austrian fortification guns. Yeah, I remember doing that. Man, that was a good one back in the day. So what would you guys like to do then? Shall we go ahead and... I think it's probably worthwhile sending a diplomat out. Shall we send a diplomat out to the Italians? Agricultural aid, okay. So once I passed 7%, they actually do gain 1% each turn, which is nice. The Ottomans... sometimes, to be honest, I think it's probably better to keep the Ottomans out of the war. At least for a while, really. Try and grind them down. Oh, then again, with the Ottomans, you can kind of just, like, have all of their armies actually... Well, you need to have, like, Bulgaria. You need to have Bulgaria. Who else? Oh, yeah, just Bulgaria is fine. Yeah, if you get Bulgaria into the war, and then, well, then you have, obviously, the Ottoman Empire. You can essentially have all the Ottoman troops just force through into Bulgaria, and then you just use the Ottomans to take out Serbia. And then, yeah, you just get Ottoman forces out here on the Russian front, which is fun. Okay. So I think what we're going to do then is we'll spend a diplomat. I mean, what's the US at? The US is at 87%. That's really quite hefty. Yeah. It's going to take some time for them anyway. We don't really need to worry about the Americans in 1914. So what we're going to do then is focus on the Italians then. So I'll send a major diplomat out to Italy. I do have to be careful with engagement points. I can't spend too many. I am going to start working on... Let's see, how are these guys looking? In fog of war. Okay. If the Italians join you before the Ottomans do, the Ottomans will lose 10... Ah. Okay, that's intriguing. Oh, they're working on the Japanese. See, the Japanese are fantastic. They have a really nice navy. But the fact is they actually do have a navy out there, which is fun. But Entente. None too surprising due to the former alliance. Bulgaria is always a good one there. Yeah. I've never got the Netherlands on side. I don't think I've ever fought the Netherlands. Okay. We'll go for the diplomats then. So, Bulgaria. Romania. Belgium, man. So is Belgium actually not part of this war then? We're going to have to double check. It looks like they're not. But I would have to double check. Here. The British have a decision. Oh, I see. Wow. And to the Netherlands then. Alright, there we go. Oh. Let's take a look over here then. Turn this off here. See, I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to these games. It's been a while since I last played them. So, regions, allegiance, sorry. Okay, so is Belgium neutral here? Ah. This region can't be entered, but might be unlocked by event later. Interesting. Oh, I see. Oh, right, okay. I just assumed that our plan... I might have been yeah, I think I might have been reading one of the other plans. Interesting. I thought it was plan 19 where they invade Belgium. I misread that then, didn't I? Which is the plan... Is it 21 where they invade Belgium? Can't recall now. Moving into Russia is a mistake because they can trade space for time. Interesting. No, you're right. They can trade space to an extent. What we need to do then to actually stop them from doing that is to sever their rail network. There's a couple points here where the actual Russians are kind of screwed if you take. Let's see. And that's one of them over here, Grodno. Pinsk. There's a nice one due to those rails. And... Rono. Yeah, those ones can cut the rails off to Poland, which is where the majority of their troops are right now. Yes. Indeed. Shame that we don't have any forces over here. But at least they're on our side. The issue is I don't really have forces to be able to deal with that. Which is going to be fun. I do have a couple cores over here, but a couple cores, 2 cores, literally a couple cores isn't going to do very much. And Trier is likely to fall here. It depends really on how bold the French want to be here. Interesting. Okay, so I do have another core there. So I have 2 cores there. I don't know if I have a army commander who's available to actually combine these guys. Right, there we go. Well, we do have some actual fortress guns over here. The issue is it doesn't have walls. So it will fall to a determined assault, really. That's the problem. And we can get some forces out that way. And they'll move into Luxembourg. There's no forces there to really oppose them at Luxembourg. So they'll move in there, take that, and move on to Trier. They do have to be wary, however. We do have a 4th army over here. We do have the cores here that we can use too. And this is a case as well. They may choose to instead attack us here. Possibly. I doubt they will, but they might do it. The issue is they do have a river to cross here. So I think what we're going to do here then, let's see. The rails go like this and okay. So my rail points aren't exactly amazing right now. Okay, so we do have another core here. Right. See, it might be a, it might be worthwhile to potentially push into Belfort and Epinal. Try and take control of these fortresses over here, perhaps. So a few units over here in the fortress. A couple over here. Not as many, however. Yeah, 5 versus 4 here. Size 2 city, size 2 fortress. We have size 4 city, size 2 depot, which is interesting, size 2 fortress. Yeah. Over here we do have only a size 5 city. We don't have a fortress, unfortunately. The Italian wiki probably joined the... Oh, will. Okay. It's going to take them some time to march over that way. Yeah. I do have these 3 cores, so I will have them begin to move out. They're not active right now, which does not help out, but we're going to move in. Okay. How much can he command then? He could... Let's see, 211 command rating. 211. There's no traits there. No traits here either. I might as well have them work together then. I mean, that's fine, there's no penalty here. At least they're a little bit tougher on their own. Well, together. And we do have munitions over here. Okay. So we do have some aircraft. Have some balloons as well. Righto. Yeah, balloon. And we have signal over here from the aircraft. Okay. So they will be running reconnaissance, essentially. Okay. Now we could raise forces to actually help deal with that. And they can push, but they can't push tremendously far. I mean, they can definitely try. They can definitely push if they really want to. But we will be able to get forces to just sort of check that to an extent. They don't want to overextend either, really. Okay. So we have a fleet over here. And over here as well. Line divisions, we do have the submarines over here. Yeah, line division. Okay. Spirit of 1806 will carry us through, indeed. Okay, so I do have some cavalry over here. A division of cavalry. Okay. The armored cars are nice. Jesus. Yeah. The issue is there's not many fortresses in the Rhineland. Or really any fortresses in the Rhineland. We still have garrisons, which is at least something to work with. But they can't overextend. They've got to be very mindful about it. Oh well. At least things are better over here. Now if we take a look at the Austrian armies. Okay. Right, so they're not activated yet. Which is not a bad thing actually, because they're in position. We do have an army corps over here. Right. Third army. Okay, so I do have 14th Army Corps there. Alpine Jaeger? Oh, this guy's going to be quite good here, actually. Defiant. Right. Czech. Polish. Okay. So those are the units he has under his command, I believe. Or at least those are the units. Well, those are the nationalities he can command, sorry. Oh, Wars of Napoleon. Ah, yeah. Yeah, they look good. It's just the crashing doesn't make things very good, does it? Keep in mind the multinational composition of the Austrian army. Yeah, indeed. And this is where these commands will come in really useful. Yeah, future reinforcements we'll have to send out to Austria. We'll see. Okay, so I do have an army over, well, quote-unquote army. The 5th do have a cause over here. So 5th army can be enlarged. Austro-Croatian. Okay. Polish and Hungarian. Okay. Right. So these are Austrian troops over here. Austro-Hungarian troops over here, actually. Croatian. So I'd be better. I mean, this is the issue. He's our army commander. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Oops. Well, yeah. I mean, in the east, you can use them to, like, cut the rail lines. It's really nice. I mean, that's what I plan to do with the cavalry. It's really nasty tactic, to be honest. Tactic. Yeah, it's nice. It's a good game. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is have them join the 5th Army. Okay, so we do have a garrisons, we do have infantry over here. Right, okay, so Austrians, pioneers, these guys are, they're not troops per se, they're more like supports. We do have some artillery over here. Medium artillery. 36 cannon. Okay. Are you full? You could take additional cannon. So there's a staffer. Yeah, 10 of those rail lines. Cautious strategist. So +1 defense, 5% cohesion gain if active. +1 evasion. That's not too bad at all, actually. That's actually pretty decent. Okay. Right, defensive engineer. Okay, we'll get these units worked in then. Yes, ability applies to all elements of the stack. I'm going to have the actual artillery worked in here directly. Yeah, we do have the pontoons, we also do have a supply. Munitions over here, which is important. Okay. Right then. So we're in hills over here then. This is not a very, it's not a very especially powerful army. So yeah, okay. So strategic town. We do have hills here, which is decent enough. We do have mountain here. Let's see. So I'd imagine the Russians will have objectives on these towns, on these settlements, on the... I'll just say these provinces. Okay. So we could potentially hold up here, but I don't particularly like it. We're not entrenched here. Yeah, there's no level of entrenchment. It might be better to fall back, perhaps. In the Kaiserreich scenario, indeed. It depends where he marches, but the issue is, I don't know, it doesn't look like the strongest army, though. Cavalry, regular cavalry, artillery, supply. Okay, it doesn't look like the strongest army. I could be wrong. Interesting. Hey, doing that, plebeian? Good to have you, my friend. Warsaw. That sounds nice. Ooh, bitter ale. Nice. I'm liking it. Oh, I'd like to have some wine right now, to be honest. That'd be nice. Okay, I think what we're going to do then is we're going to remain here at the hills for the time being. We're in a defensive posture. Defend. We do have defend and retreat. Defend and retreat. Your side will want to retreat starting from the third round unless the attack is failing. The chances to succeed in doing so are increased. Okay. I downloaded Kaiserreich again for Dark Star. I'm going to have to play that at some point. So you guys alright with that then? I think we make a stand here then. I mean, I could fight in the forest. I could fall back to here, but the issue is I don't think it's a very large force. It's well led, but I don't think it's a very large force. And if anything, I don't think... I don't know. It depends really where they're going to go. If he doesn't attack, then we have a chance to actually dig in here and actually get some level of entrenchment. We'll see. It's not too bad here due to the fact that we actually do have a pretty decent amount of forces actually available. So let's see then. Have the armies here. I'm going to have the actual cores embedded inside the actual army structure here for the time being. I mean, we do have the actual activated core, but I'm gonna hold them in reserve for the time being. Though, will I? What do you actually have in here? Okay. Infantry. If I had the cavalry, I'd probably let them go. That supplies intriguing, okay. I mean, maybe, but then again, would it be in infantry, they're not going to move too quickly. So I'll have them hold here for the time being, then. Issue is it's bloody plains, which is not exactly ideal. They'll be active soon enough. Right, these fellows. Okay. So we do have our commander here to fight, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Right. We'll leave them as they are for the time being. I mean, I could have these corps move out, perhaps. We could have a corps actually sent to reinforce the army over here. This is the 5th army. We'll see how the cards drop in. We'll see how things end up, really. What is that red strip about on the Russian art card? Oh, this means that it's fixed in the region. So they're going to be unlocked next turn. Okay. So a Croatian commander here. I want to see where the actual Russian armies are. And then we can decide to advance. Yeah, this is a true fortress over here. These are very nice fortresses. So we have here then a size 2 fortress. Over here, size 2 fortress. Yeah, strategic. Yeah, there we go. They're very nice. Okay. These fellas are stood down for the time being. Right. So what I'm going to do here then. I'd like to get the cavalry out this way. Need to get them out there. And busy. We'll have them move out of the rail. So that's going to take 16 days. Let's see. Is it backspace? No, it's delete. There we go. Delete. have a move to settlement here. Okay. Right, they're not active yet. Reserve division. Okay, so we've VanHouten. 311. Scorched Earth. That's intriguing. It would actually be very nasty. We could use him for the conquest of Poland, essentially. The reason for that is, I'm not entirely sure how Scorched Earth will work. It's been a long time since I actually played the game. But what we could potentially do is use that to sort of decimate regions in Poland, make it difficult for the actual, for the Russians to really, even if they retake it, to recuperate. Anytime soon, that is. Okay. As we do have a couple calls here. Indeed. Right. Improvised defenders. So here's a good defensive commander that we'll have to think about. Yep, Scorched Earth. Aristocratic cavalryman. Okay. Right, you actually do command cavalry, which is really good. Okay. So what we're going to do then, there is a main army over here. We're going to have to try to take that into consideration. Let's see. What I'm going to do then is actually have the corps commander move over to the north over here. What I'd like to do is actually have them and the cavalry over here assembled into like one big cavalry corps, and we'll get that moving out there. The reason why I want to do that is actually have a supply. The cavalry will be able to move out. I just want to get a sense of what's going on first of all. So we'll go with that. What I'm going to do then is have corps embedded here. Okay. I like that guy. Give them additional supply. Embed them into the Third Army. Okay. Right. So they're active now, which is good news. We could advance through the forest over here towards Warsaw. It's going to be an interesting one, really. I could instead choose to forego that option, actually march over this way. I mean, we do have the rail line here, which is actually really quite nice, really quite important there. Malawa. Now, that fortress would be good to secure there. The reason being, that does work to our advantage if we do secure that. These fortresses over here, the reason being that we'd have the river. Obviously, we'd be able to oppose things that were in southern Poland. Not so much this side. Get the supply wagons under the cavalry corps. Let it operate alone. Notice it hold them down. Do we have an idea how fast they are? Speed. Speed level fast. Speed level fast. They should be able to operate together. They've got the same speed. Yeah. Well, that's true. We'll see. We'll see. What I'm going to do then is actually march them north, I think. So that's going to take 14 days to march to this area here. 21 days to be there. Now, if I go south, 7 days, 11 days, 15 days, and we'd be there. We might want to keep that army, but then again, I don't think they're going to be attacking towards Germany. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Right. See, I don't know if the actual rail lines connect over here. They don't look like they connect. I might be wrong and might not be seeing it through the forest. I think what we're going to do is going to march over here to the north. I could force march them, to be honest. No, saying that, no, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. What I'm going to do then is march over here to Cologne. The reason being that cuts the rails over here. Not that it makes much, that much a difference. Yeah, no connection, yeah. March towards Plock. And we have the clear terrain here, forest here, okay. woods over here. 18 days. I think what we'll do then is we'll march over here. I could potentially march upon Lodz, and that's not too bad actually. To secure the size 9 city and the depot there, it's not too bad. That'd be easily done as well. How long would it take to actually march south over here? That's 24 days. I would march that way. Okay. The Russians will not attack, are only with one army, and nothing is guarded by a complete northern Polish and Baltic flank, indeed. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to march upon that fortress. Oh, yeah. I'm going to take that one so we can try and isolate Warsaw. As we'll march over that way, that would be 24 days that way. I guess we'll go that way. We'll see how that turns out. Though I think I prefer to march the other way. I don't want to really face the prospect of a river crossing, so we'll march over there 21 days then. Okay. We do have a reserve corps. Reserve corps does have the infantry, does have artillery there as well. Not too bad. Okay. What I'm going to do then... I think I'm going to have the reserve corps march to the north. I want to have it with the armies over here. And we'll take a look actually what we do have here. But having the reserve armies is not too bad. Sorry, reserve corps. Might be potentially worthwhile to actually have it made use of. I think we'll make that a large army. That's going to take 21 days. But we'll see. I might change my mind on that one. So over here then we do have Unmulky. Overcautious. Battlebook strategist. Okay. Cavalry corps are active here. Cool-headed. Oh, that's really cool. Multinational commander. Reckless, diplomatic, mass artillerist. Okay. I think what we are going to do then is march our corps over here to the north then. Get the corps moving out. We'll have the rest of the army actually link up there for after. Hey there, pleb. No, this is the one where we've chosen our own war plans here. Yes, need more von Mackensen. Later in the war, you can force a navy infantry landing corps under the command of Mackensen. That sounds amazing. Okay. In fact, bugger it, we'll get the cavalry moving out over here. Ooh, is that really going to be 20 days? Okay. 20 days, really? Ash. 14 days. Famed probe attack. Once they're across, we can tell them to begin breaking rails elsewhere. Oh, look at those big guns there. Indeed, super heavy guns. Those are some bad boys. Okay. Do have your heavy artillery over here. What we might want to do though is actually leave behind the super heavy guns and possibly the heavy guns and move them elsewhere. Indeed, the multi-plan. You can tell by where the actual heavy guns are. So that's one of the fortresses that we do actually want to take out. Yeah, that'd be really nice. We'll have to bear that in mind. So let's see then. We do have a first army, we have a second army, we have a number of corps over here. And this might be the case. We might want to spread out the actual corps once we have an idea of where the actual Eastern Entente forces are, the Russians. What do you guys think then? Should we bring the first and second armies and march them towards potentially Moscow? Do we have the other armies actually march towards St. Petersburg, or do we strike towards them? I feel like the first and second armies should try and block the actual Russian armies from retreating hinterland. What do you guys feel like? Let's have a war council. Yes, the Kaiser plan, that's it. Hey, Juvashal, good to have you, my friend. Your laugh is massive. Yeah, I mean, this is it. In fairness, I do have a microphone pretty close to my face. Like all up in that face. Yes, we do have the majority of our Russian, well, sorry, of our forces on the Russian front. Rico, Smolensk are the first ones you should go in north. Yeah. Strike south and then circle the forces upon it. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm thinking using like the first and second armies. What we want to do to, well, and this army over here, which I forgot the name of, third army, so third, first and second armies there. Focus on Brest-Litovsk, Warsaw and south towards the Austrians. Maybe take advanced positions north and send reinforcements south to help the Austrians. I think, I do agree with what people are saying for the most part. I think I will have an army actually strike towards St. Petersburg. Sucio and Rico would be quite nice to actually try and drive the Russian fleet out of any major ports there. There are nasty guns over here that we're trying to silence. But I do agree actually have the mainstay of the armies actually try and deal with the Russians inadvertently. The Austrians factually are deployed over here, so we have that going for us. We'll see, we'll see. There's only so many rail lines as well, so that makes it harder. As for the case of actually deploying into separate corps, I think what we want to do then is actually have like a siege corps, perhaps. Okay. Oh, a spare division there, so it's nice. I think I had a mass artillerist somewhere. Oh, a fast mover. 15% movement bonus. That's going to be really good there. Oh yeah, don't move there, yeah. Good administrator. Defensive engineer, always a good one too. Dragoon cavalryman. I'm sure we had an artillerist. Ah, here we go. We have a yes, Max von Galwitz. So, what I'm going to do then is actually have him separated out here. So he's commanding, yes, infantry, 2 divisions of infantry, guard infantry actually. I think reserve guard infantry. Interesting. Let's see. That's really cool. How you doing there, Sam? No, then south behind Russian lines and Poland trapping them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean this is it. Kovno is the main key there. What I'm going to do then is actually give them the heavy artillery. Yeah, I think I might have to go ahead and do like a play-by-email or something of this nature. How quick is he? Well, let's see. I don't imagine it's quick. It slows down things as well. Yeah, whole stack in wild areas. I don't really need the heavy artillery. So what I'm going to do then is give that corps the heavy artillery. I think medium artillery actually can move fairly quick. Fast, yeah, that's fine. I don't think infantry move fast anyway, or do they? Oh no, they do. Okay, so that's fine enough. That works for us. The Russians have no defensive plan, so they have a good focus every time, but not enough troops to hold the line. Yeah. Makes sense. Right. Offensive engineer and engineer. Do we have ourselves an engineer over here? Pioneers. Okay, so this will be our siege corps essentially. You don't need to take even Moscow or St. Petersburg. It's more important to try to Russian army. Ah, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Let's see, can I add these units in here? Right, let's see, empty these guys out. Right, so I can't get the forces in there. Siege artillery slow mover. Yeah, so it applies to the units in the stack anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. What we'll do then is we'll get these units in here then. Right about we go. Yeah, that sounds fine by me. And essentially what we're going to be doing is march into Kauno anyhow. Let's see. There's like a feature to get everything to march our way. Force march. Synchronized movement. This order allows an army stack and associated corps to move at the same speed, arrive at the same time in a given region. I don't particularly want to do that. The infantry shall be our shells, for they shall be so numerous. Okay, we'll have a men in march. Hey, Brian. You know what? I do think about Wars of Napoleon. I'd like to give it another chance. I think I guess I will give it another chance. Oh, they go that way. 20 days. Okay, we'll have Second Army move out. So we're going to concentrate 2 armies here, which is a obscene amount of force. Now, I could move there in a more aggressive manner. But it's going to take us a few days to arrive there anyhow. Let's see. We'll have them in conservative attack mode. But on aggressive. I don't think there's going to be a Russian army there anyhow. But just in case. And this is it. They should be reinforced by the other corps, the other army arriving there. So they shouldn't have a problem really. But yes, what we'll do then is we'll assault and take the city very quickly. Okay, there we go. So they're moving out there. Not too far away now from ending the first turn. We'll take a look down here towards Serbia. I do have some forces over here, so these are Austrians, sorry, Hungarians. Is he not a corps commander? Maybe because he's not active right now. Either way, we're going to have that move out. This really doesn't particularly matter. As long as I control the rail line, we're good to go. So that's 85 days there. 8 days. You just can't argue with that. Being able to move out so quick. So what we'll do is obviously maintain a defensive position here. Versus the Serbians. River Monitor, that's going to come in nice and handy. So we do have 6 army. Vainglorious Strategist. We do have a cause. Right, okay. I'm definitely lacking artillery here. We do have some artillery at least. Yeah, so they do have their regiments over there. Oh, these are brigades actually. Interesting. Oh, that's intriguing actually. I think that's a detail I've not often noticed before. Let's see. Need to find... Yeah, there we go. That's interesting. Okay. You can even sail out with the Austro-Hungarian army to attack the French. Oh, sally out. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Okay. Well, they're going to remain in position here anyway. Yeah, Novi Sad. They can remain as they are. Okay. So that's the majority of the things sorted out there. Now we have to take into consideration naval aspects. They'll be finished soon. Might as well wait there. I do like how they're actually named. That's what I always do love. So we do have some dreadnoughts over here. Okay. We might even be able to use the torpedo boats. We'll validate French doctrine there. Okay. So what do you guys feel like regarding the High Seas Fleet then? Do we give it some time to see where the... Then again, actually, we're not at war with Great Britain. I'm thinking about this as if we are at war with Great Britain. So that does change things then, actually. We should be able to probably take on the French fleet. Might be worthwhile sending out the U-boats first. It's been a long time since I've done anything naval-wise, so this will be intriguing one. So we do have these blockade boxes over here. Do we have these submarines move towards the blockade box? Let's see. Alright, small submarine. I think we'll have them obviously move towards the blockade box. Though it does worry me, would it actually bring the Brits in, perhaps? And the Western Front is essentially just like hold the fort. I could move to the Atlantic over here as well. I don't particularly want to move this way. I think we'll move towards the northern blockade box. Okay, we do have our line divisions over here. Bring back all your overseas ships and organize a high sea fleet to combat the French Navy and smash them. Yeah, well that's it. And this is it. If we can destroy the French Navy, that's really great. Hey Jumelas, good to have you, my friend. Seeing a lot of new names here. Right, I'm going to combine the line divisions. Third line division. Third line division over here. Do have some older battleships over here. Steel battleship. Still good. Okay. Ah, there we go. Transports over here. Okay. Hey, didn't Barrows? Yeah, the map is really nice, isn't it? Now, that's definitely one of the good parts about the Jud games is they're usually very nice looking too. Okay, so we do have the actual battle cruisers up here. Give them a taste of Hanseatic steel. I did. Right. So I do have some formations over here then. Have them sail down to Wilhelmshaven. Okay, do have our admiral. Okay. Here we go. As we do have our battle cruisers over here. Whoops. Right about. Hot-headed, superior tactician, aggressive naval strategist, loyal, cautious naval strategist, quickly angered. I've often wondered, like, how many commanders you really want to have in a force here, really. We'll leave it like this for the time being. I mean, that's a very large fleet. Yeah, they're coming to join. Okay. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go abroad. Whoops. Why can I see something over here? Ah, right, yes. Yes, the Open and the Brothers Lab. We could attempt to bring them home. I could have them attempt... I mean, this is something as well. You could have them... Traditionally, they're obviously going to sail towards Constantinople. I don't think I can pass through here, but they are neutral, so we might be able to do that. Give them to the Ottomans. Out of interest, I'm probably going to have them sail towards that way anyway. They would have to go elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, they'd have to go that way. Okay. Let's avoid that. We'll try to evade death. Okay. Just head towards Austria for the time being. Okay. So do we have forces out here? Yeah, this is where you need like a human opponent, really. Okay, try and get them home. So we have the, what was it now? The Kaiser plan with Austria. And we have the von Moltke plan with the Germans. So it's going to suck for Russia. Okay. Yep, that'll be what it'll be. At least our colony over here is actually going to probably be okay for a while. Hmm. There we go. Now that's intriguing. And the von Moltke plan is essentially where we have the majority of the armies transferred to the east. Right. Transports, we could probably... I could probably deal with that. Possibly. Though... Scharnhorst size now. No, probably not wise. We'll bring them back. Might as well have them over here. Try to make use of them, really. Okay. So that is everything returning home. We'll go with that then. So there we go. Okay. Let's see. So we could begin to recruit some troops. I think we are going to have to begin to recruit some troops, aren't we, really? Infantry units. I think we do need infantry units to begin with. Yeah, this is the issue. There's not really fortresses out here. Oh dear. Okay. I think I might begin to raise the forces around this sort of area, perhaps. Or even around here. It doesn't particularly matter, because you are having to travel via rail anyway. Raise a couple divisions. That's costing a lot. Okay. Yeah, need more dreadnoughts. War supply is going to be something to take into consideration. Okay. Let's see, decisions. The Hoffman decision is going to be fun. So, all Russian units on German territory will suffer minus 66% cohesion. Yeah, it's just crazy good. Thing is as well, you can keep that for quite a while. Munitions plans. See, in the ultimate mod, that was really, really important. Unlock the guns. Yeah, we'll start by unlocking these guns over here. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Oops. Okay. So it's good to have some replacements in reserves. We do have some reserves here for line actually, it's not too bad. A couple of reserves here and there. Yeah, we'll be alright. We'll be alright for now. You can see the units that are being produced. Right, so the options that have been unlocked. So we do have the Kaiser's go to Turkey, which costs us 500 state funds. I could raise more funds, but we might try and avoid that. So the Bourbon and the Breslau. Right. 5 engagement points. I might as well go ahead and play that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and save. There we go. Double save. Maybe even a triple save if we're brave enough. And we'll resolve a turn and kind of hope for the best. Yeah, forces will be unlocked. We'll go for it from there. Another save. Okay, let's go for it then. It's been a very long time since I last did this. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Though in fairness it is installed on SSD, so it should ideally be better. It will be interesting to see what happens in 15 days. I think 14 days. Was it? No, it was 15 days in Pride of Nations as well. Okay, here we go. Right, so we see the Russians advancing. French obviously advancing there. Yeah, I mean that's going to be difficult. The French army is going to be difficult to deal with there. But we'll see if they make a mistake. Depends on how brave they are. They may even stay in Luxembourg, but there's a good few days yet. I doubt they're going to stay there. Yeah, no, that's true, that's true. Right, so we've seen French cavalry there, but the French cavalry doesn't really have much of an option. Some French transports over there. Yeah, they moved to Trier. Okay. Around the North Atlantic. Oh, wow, yeah. I would feel bad for that Russian force if it was to actually, yeah. Oh, yes, okay. Did I mention I'd say I'd feel bad for them? I don't feel bad for them. Did you end all the wars? Not yet, not yet. Okay, so we have our first engagement here of the war. Oh, poor Pavel. That was not his day. Interesting we see aircraft here. So we have 3,218 infantrymen lost, but yeah, look at those numbers there. 292,270 men. 31,232. It's just not... It's not on the cards, is it, baby? It's not on the cards. So your unit had a medium hit probability during the turn. Yeah, there we go. See, I think this is something that happens in this war, so we can actually choose the way the armor deploys. I don't know if you can actually do it in this one, or maybe you just need to have like a decent commander. I always forget. I forget how it works. 2 to 1 casualties, yeah. The thing is as well, they lost some cavalry. And they lost some of their guns. I mean, look at that, 1,446 guns versus 60. Yeah, they were quite outgunned there. Our men showed signs of cowardice during the fighting. Place artillery batteries are opened. Yeah, I think they gained a benefit from having the fortress there. Yeah, I'm going to be intrigued. I'm going to be intrigued by Great Britain there. Ooh, okay. So, we lose our ship over here, the SMS Königsberg, unfortunately. Yes. So she's hunted down by an armored cruiser. Two armored cruisers and 2 light cruisers, a couple of destroyers over here. That's a shame. 28 ships, yeah. She was kind of outmatched. Okay. In single player, with good commanders you can do that, but not in multiplayer. Right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, It depends, really. It's one of those where, if you're playing against the AI, obviously you can do some nasty things to the AI. But in like long drawn-out wars, I'd imagine, yes, it will make a big difference. You can use a Hoffman decision twice. It's a game book. Oh, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so diplomacy, you will notice. Yep, we know about that. Oh, yeah. Crazy, though. Right, so Luxembourg has fallen to the Western Entente. So often we get to see that, say that. Where are they? I can't tell. Are they in this hex or this hex? Are they in this province or this province? They're in that province. Oh, Yondria. Okay. Okay. Not quite as expected. Well, at least we actually do have some guns over here. And place guns over here is nice. And we do have a commander. We do have a division over here at least. 12,000 men is nice. Okay. Right, Virgo, I unlocked the artillery over here. That's pretty good. Yeah, the Austrians don't get tremendous amounts of artillery or big artillery. Well, they have okay artillery, but heavy artillery is really nice. But at least we do have that. That's going to come in real handy. We'll just unlock it all over here, really. These are not taunt. Okay, Russia has only a very limited amount of medium or heavy guns. And their navy will not be very active. So there's no problem with ammunition if you not build up the artillery part. Indeed. And in there, Zach, I remember the game. Tell me it was a port of the types of artillery and the navy, but I don't recall. Yeah, well, that's it, isn't really. It depends, really. Okay. So, I can't really see what the situation is over here. There might be like a hotkey to like hide armies. I can't remember if there was one or not. Okay. This is when I'd be tempted to fold them into the actual forces here. It might be better to have them folded in. What is there? I remember there. Is there like some sort of... Actually, no, they're just like stacked on top of each other at the end of the turn. That was it. Okay. Take a look over here then. Yep. Rip Königsberg. So the government of Breslau. At the outbreak of the First World War, the British fleet attempted to intercept the German battlecruiser SMS Bourbon and the light cruiser SMS Breslau. The cruisers evaded the British, passing through the Dardanelles to reach Constantinople. Their arrival was a catalyst that contributed to the Ottoman Empire during the Central Powers. It's a really interesting story regarding this. Really interesting story. Didn't the Ottomans actually put their own sailors aboard the Bourbon and the Breslau? Didn't they rename them as well? I can't recall exactly what it was. I'm sure somebody will remember this a little bit more. Yeah, declare war. Yeah, don't need those, don't need those. Okay. Still over Alexander. I'm not going to be too much longer. We're about an hour and a half in, actually. Been a lot of waffling. So I think we'll have about 15 more minutes. Christ. I can't believe it's tonight, nearly 11. Yeah, they renamed them. Ah, that's really sweet, very epic. I did try a while ago, but I really need to, well, what I'm going to do when I do move out of university is, I'm going to get an apartment, a two-bed one, like have one, obviously, as a bedroom, and have, like, another as, like, a studio. What I'd really like to do is, like, have, I don't know, I'd like to be able to stand. I think then I could actually speak a little bit better, and maybe have, like, a sort of script. That'd be good, and then maybe do something like that. That'd be fun. I'd like to try and do something like that. Not that I know very much, you know what I mean? It's one of these things that when I'd enjoy doing the research, essentially. Okay, anyhow. One of your ambassadors has increased support for your cause in Holland. An attempt to perform the decision center for Mountain Region Belgium was unsuccessful. That's a shame. Yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like I'm sat down right now, and I never feel like I've got full use of my lungs, really. So we increased support in Romania. And that's a shame. Bulgaria, unsuccessful. Italy, unsuccessful. Okay, well, not too bad overall. Okay. Nearly finished over here is good. Okay, so the Western Entente captured Luxembourg. The deep in Luxembourg as well. Right. Asia Division has successfully evaded the enemy fleet in the area of the Atlantic Ocean. Yep, chance of success at 7%. Naval patrols have failed to engage the enemy. Okay. Flying our reconnaissance missions over here. Yeah. Okay, so on the 11th day here, we did fight. We didn't get any national morale there. Wasn't a completely overwhelming victory there. Hey, doing that, Dave? Good to have you, my friend. I'm doing about another 14 odd minutes. Maybe try getting like another turn. But it's a good game. It's been a long time since I last played it. Right, okay, so we do have active forces over here. It's one of these, really. You need to have, like, a human opponent to really play against. It's still not easy. You can make it harder, but it's one of those where you do need to actually have a human opponent for Sucio. I don't know, maybe I can find, like, a play-by-email opponent, and that could be quite fun. Okay, that's a lot of active units there. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Additional entrenchment networks were set up. Yeah, this is what I like, love there. The entrenchment is so important. So very important there. Alright, here we go. Let me sort this a little bit. Here we go. Scripted events. So Great Britain moves 1% towards the Entente. Towards the Central Powers. Yeah, Great Britain has shifted 5% towards the Entente there. The Brits might be joining sooner than we'd hoped. But that was always going to happen, really. Okay. Right, we'll go ahead and take a look over here then. 16% there. And the important thing is they haven't joined immediately, and that does make a difference. It slows them down pretty dramatically. Right. I've never seen what happens with rebels. I would be intrigued to see what happens there. 77% over there. They're going to naturally start swaying towards us now, which is good news. I don't really need to waste a diplomat. You can bring them in sooner, and it's not probably... I don't know, it's not a terrible idea, really. So it does give you access to them. You can try and do things a little bit sooner rather than later. But I'd rather use the points elsewhere, really. The Italians are the ones you really want. The Italians make such a difference. I'd say probably the most important nations to me personally are Bulgaria and just Italy. The reason being, if you get Bulgaria, you can use like Ottoman troops in Europe. Italy is obviously, yeah, you either want her in the war, or you want her out of the war there. I think there's somebody bloody using a dog whistle outside or some shit. Or a whistle anyway. Okay. It's either a whistle or some sort of freaking bat. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. Right, Romania's very heavily in our favour. Yeah, Romania's obviously a big one there to have on our side as well. Belgium, 50-50. Right. Yeah, so they naturally move towards neutrality. Holland is actually sliding towards our position here at this moment in time. Okay, so if we're greater than 20%, we actually do gain agricultural aid there. Chance of 1% alignment gain in Germany. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Replenish plan was a lot of fun. Yeah, that campaign was fun. That campaign was fun. It was fun taking London, but then again, this is the thing, isn't it? The AI. Okay, at least they're on our side. So we do have additional forces that have been unlocked over here then. Breslau is such a great fortress. Okay. Do have that be developed. So it's going to be difficult with the French. We'll have to see. The French, they haven't quite moved as I expected. We do have 2 reserve divisions over here, in fact. It might be best to actually get these reserve divisions moving out elsewhere. Are these in the same province? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, not too sorry. It might be better to potentially have a reserve division move to the west. Possibly. Yeah, you'd be right. You would be very right. Okay. They're 6 days out, so we'll have them actually merge together. Well, not there, but they should merge. Actually, I'll have it there just so there's nothing left to chance. As a little, well, they'll link up over here. I could have them march over here. It might be for the best, but I'd like to make sure they actually do link up. So we'll see here. Hannibal did. Yeah, if some damn elephant can do it, we can do it. So we do have the 8th army here. Okay. Have 8th army move north. We do have these forces over here, these cores. God, you can tell why I'm saying that. Right. What I'm going to do then is actually have these guys organize into armies, so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. As right now I can't. Okay. Hang on a second. Shit. Did I just combine the armies there by mistake? Oh no, okay, the army's still over here. I was thinking, oh thank God for that. Okay. Right, so we do have a cavalry corps here, we do have the other, might as well have them fold in here then. I'll probably have, oh yeah, they're pretty massively over there, so never mind. Bring out another corps. I can have these actual... Yeah, there we go, okay. So we have reserve divisions, we have a reserve guard division. Little bit over. That should be fine. It's not a big malice there. It's only 2% there, so it should be alright. Right, okay. No, you can't directly absorb that. Okay. Oh, I see. Once you have 100% rebels, the game over. Okay. That's good to know. So what we're going to do then, we can march out. We do have First Army moving out that way. We do have the actual Siege Corps moving this way as well. Have them moved in there as well. Additional forces is never a bad idea. Okay. Cavalry can move to the north. If I could move over here as well, that'd be quite nice. I want to try and secure those rail lines there. Though saying that, let's see. 20 days. So it's 20 days really either way then. Okay, we'll go there. What I can do is actually have the corps move out. And I could actually have naval support over here. We'll see about that. Yeah, well that's it, isn't it, really? I mean, facing off against the German, Austrian empires. Of course, then having to deal with Romania and Bulgaria. That's a lot of troops. Even if you get in the Ottoman Empire, it's a lot of troops. There's a lot of troops. It's a big front. It's a difficult front, and the troops aren't terribly ably led. But this is it, isn't it, really? It would have been difficult. Even in the best of times. So I'll have the corps move out there. Okay, so I do have a cavalry corps. Ooh, 14 days. Wow, they do haul ass. 32 days. Where the hell are they going at 14 days? Okay. Oh, that's intriguing then regarding Mexico. I can imagine that goes well for them. Which is your favourite Jud game? I really like to end all wars, but the one that I will say is my favourite is Civil War 2. Buttery smooth, works. I think it works best due to the fact that it is, it's one side versus another side. There's not much that can go wrong there. The AI doesn't have to be bloody genius to figure out that it needs to go south if it's playing as a Union. Of course, you're probably better off playing as the player as the south, because obviously it's difficult playing the south. But yeah, no, that'd be something I'd like to play as well. They're good games, they are good games. It's just a shame that they crash so often, that's the only problem. Like, they don't crash that often. It's usually during, like, turn processing that things like that happen. Did I forget to move you? I might have forgotten to move them, to be honest. Right, we'll have a march out there. Okay. So we could march to the south here. Grodno. What are my objectives here? Let's take a look. Right, so we do have objectives over here then. Minsk is worth quite a bit. Vilna, worth quite a bit. These are early game objectives. I think they're denoted by colour. Yeah, so kind of have to go here. Okay. I always like a Jud for the actual terrain map mode. It's just really, really nice. You can actually see things really clearly. Yeah, that's what I like. Nimble, average, impeded. Okay, frontage width. I think we march towards Grodno. So what we can do here then is have the second army march. Have the corps march with them. We'll have a siege gun and the army, the first army, deployed over here. Yeah, march towards Grodno. Have the siege artillery over here, and then have it sent down south to Grodno. And then what we can do is have the first army march towards Vilna, perhaps. Once we take that, then we can march south. Okay. Now, the issue is I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to an end. I would make more decisions, but then this is it. I don't want to rush things. We'll try and do things properly. And maybe we'll have streams of to end all wars here and there. If you guys like that. It's been really nice to have so many people watching. That's been awesome. I think at about 60 odd at the height there, which is awesome. I mean, what I'm trying to do at the moment, really, is try and figure out what people do like. I mean, this is it. I do love Warner Pacific. But I've got to do other things as well. People don't always like Warner Pacific, and there's other great games out there. We need to have a mix. We need to start playing new things as well. More things. As I'd like to say, a big thank you here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and thank my patrons, actually. So those guys are awesome. And gals. Awesome people. No, that'd be intriguing. Maybe I can find like a play-by-email opponent. That might be a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to say a big thank you to my patrons here. So, thank you to Mr. Cato Borsch, Susanna and Daniel, Stanislav, Fun4123, Alex Diligent Gravy, Paradigm Blue, Thunder, Erkkijuusto, Dingobat4, Mr. Baines, KO, BLeAcHACiD, Eric Wild, Spacht, Imperator Thrawn, Rick Chambers, James Lindsay, George Kilgore, Iceycrome, Talon1DE, Deepicduck, you're awesome dude, especially you. Raphael, Paul Sanders, SunYan. SunYan's like my Swedish, like, sugar daddy. Not Swedish, sorry, Swiss. Shit, he's gonna kill me now. He's like my Swiss sugar daddy. And then we have the Forgotten Lordluber, Ricky Blinson, and Gregory VanHouten. And by the way, do go ahead and check out Ricky Blinson's channel, the Battle Group Gamer. He's awesome. He deserves support. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are fantastic. If you guys do feel like I've entertained you tonight, perhaps do consider becoming a patron as well. Definitely helps the channel. And it will help me as I go on towards university, but only do it if you feel I've earned it. And again, only do it if you have the cash. Don't go waste your money. Oh yeah, Aurora 4X. That one soon. That one soon. Until next time, thank you for watching. I will see you in the future. I see Minasai, and goodbye.